Okay, let's see if this works. Hi everyone. Okay, I'm going to see if we can connect in with the feed. And hopefully if we set this up, it will be a more permanent thing. Sounds good. Okay. The only downfall is right now, and I don't know why it's doing it, but I cannot actually get any feed as to, what you guys are saying for some reason. So I'll try and check what is going on with that, and we can get into the session. Now, the reason I wanted to come to you guys, Mark and I were talking yesterday, and we were talking about some aspects that were going on with astrology, because we're trying to understand the energies and things that are coming through. And we have noticed a few things, okay? So this week, and especially from the 3rd, some of you are at the 3rd, some of you are at the 4th. Some things that are playing out at the moment are quite synchronistic to Uranus going direct. So we were really sitting there nutting over some of the things that we were looking at. And a lot of what was coming through was huge aspects being made with Uranus. Now, I'll flick over to the screen and I'll try and make sure that you guys are actually seeing what I'm seeing. Bear with me. Okay, so with this, we'll look back because some of you are at the 3rd. I'm now currently at the 4th. Okay. So this is the chart for the 4th. Now, I'll try and show you what we've been seeing. Now, there is, when you look at astrology, there is a lot of energy coming through of Capricorn energy. But obviously, at the end of the year, we've got Saturn going into Aquarius. And we do need to look at the aspects that are being made. Now, there is a lot with the Saturn and Pluto energy. It's really amping up to that point where it's in its effective energy, so to speak. But, when we were talking about the aspects of the eclipse, the dominant energy in the sky really is the Capricorn frequency. And a lot of subject matters with the Capricorn-Pluto conjunction coming up, there is a lot of aspects being made with Uranus. Now, if we look here, Uranus is at 2 degrees on the 3rd, okay? And it's in Taurus, right, obviously. It's still in retrograde. But with Uranus, what tends to happen is when it goes direct, it's sharp shifts and changes. So, with these aspects, what we need to be looking at is the fact that at the moment, the sun is in Capricorn, okay? You've also got Mercury in Capricorn. So the way we're communicating as well, it's very accountable. But, for people that potentially are triggered, it can come through very black and white, almost very Virgo-like. This is how I see it. This is the way things are going. Now, we also have Pluto in Capricorn. We have Saturn in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn. Now, with Jupiter being in Capricorn, it feels most comfortable in Sagittarius. Now, around the time of Christmas and New Year's, a lot of what was going on was, how would I put it? We've had this natural way of being and we've had this way of growing, and that's both physically, emotionally, and, sometimes it's almost a very healthy energy that's coming through. But the transitional state of that can actually be, quite uncomfortable. So with Jupiter being in Sagittarius, naturally we were used to growing things, building things, and having that growth there. And it was sort of a codependent frequency when you look at it. It's like, we know what to expect if we put our energy into this. And really, some things that we were investing in potentially, it could have been a habit or a routine. Now, with the Capricorn energy coming through, it's at 7 degrees in Jupiter at the moment. What you're going to find is initially it doesn't feel so comfortable. But as you move through it, what you're going to find is people may be triggered because we want to go back to the old way of doing things. and it's actually not allowing us to do that. So, you know, on the 3rd, some of you might feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's at 7 degrees, so, you know, it's moved past the 0 degree point, so it is more comfortable, so to speak. But for most of this month, you guys are going to feel slightly uncomfortable. Now, both with Jupiter and Uranus, they're making an interesting conversation, moving all the way into the eclipse, all the way into the conjunction. And the nodes are making huge aspects too. They're making huge conversational pieces. Now, let me see if I can go further down. Now, at the moment, and this is on the 3rd where you guys are, I'm at the 4th now because I'm in Australia. Now, the aspects you need to be really mindful of in astrology and the conversational piece of the way you look at things. Now, squaring is where we are feeling quite uncomfortable with things. And notice how right here, and I'll try and increase the size so that you guys can see it a bit better. Okay, now, with the energy here with the sun squaring the moon, now it's at 1 degree, right? Okay, regardless of that. The sun energy of it is Leo energy. It's our strength. It can be our egoic mind, and it connects the dots to masculine frequency. Now, the moon, regardless of the percentage, at the moment, the moon directly is in Aries, which is Chiron, frequency coming through collectively. And, you know, with our wounds, the way we're dealing with things, like I've mentioned in your previous video, what you'll find is you can look at the core wounds and the trigger points that will come up. But at a collective energy, we're looking at things in a very unique way, okay? So with squaring energies between masculine and feminine frequencies, and this is within ourselves as well. So what you're going to find is, you know, your hunter-gatherer mode, which, you know, you can almost deem the energy very similar with the nodes being Cancer and Capricorn, of those two energies playing out. So you've got your hunter-gatherer mode, and you've also got your intuitive family-orientated energy. It's squaring. So at the moment, those two energies are showing us things where something's not working. Now, the Sun conjunct Mercury. Now, our movement, our growth, and where we want to go, we actually know what we need to do. And again, it's at 4 degrees. So we intuitively know. The Sun conjunct Jupiter, you know, it is same situation. You know, our masculine energy and our intuition, and this is potentially connecting in with Capricorn, again, with the way we need to grow, very Capricorn energy, because it is in Capricorn at the moment. We know what we need to do to grow, but we're having an ego experience. At the moment, we're seeing the truth of the situations. Now, the Sun trining Uranus, this is where you can see the light and the dark, okay? So you legitimately see the pros and cons of the situation. Again, it's at this point here, which isn't too bad. And there are, obviously, you know, in astrology, there are critical degrees that we look at, okay? So 0 degrees, it's moved, right? 29 degrees is a critical point depending on the zodiac sign it's in. But again, the moon is squaring, so for feminine energies, it's squaring Mercury. So we might not be able to articulate our emotions so well. And that it's more so when you see the actual aspects of a square, you're guided to meditate on that situation. You know, it's something you know, with your movement, with your day-to-day routines, directly what is hindering you from actually moving in this area. So, you know, Mercury governs technology. You've seen the crap I've gone through today. It also governs your movement, your day-to-day activities, the way in which you articulate things, the truth in which you say. So, you know, all of these dynamics is a very meditated state, but a lot of the charts, even moving through, the energy here is very unique. Now, the moon directly is in Aries. Now, on the 4th, we have Mars, and I can never pronounce this, quincunxing Uranus at 2 degrees. Now, this is an extreme energy. Now, Uranus is making these conversations all the way through to the eclipse, okay? This is when it's make or break. In what you're fighting for, energetically, you know Uranus is coming, okay? This is about the best way I can describe it. Now, look at this energy here. We have Saturn conjunct Pluto already, so it's already started at 0 degrees. So the conjunction's here. So it's amping up in a storyline between Saturn and Pluto, really coming home to show you. And I really feel with Uranus at the moment, it's almost like the Tower card. The reason I'm saying that is because of the aspects that are coming all the way through. Now, the nodes are making huge conversational pieces when it does come to the sun. Let me not do that. Okay, so we've got the sun here. Nodes opposition to the sun. This is where there's tension. And that is in Capricorn and Cancer. It's at 3 degrees. We know where the tension is in these situations. You also have the nodes squaring the moon. You know where this situation and the situations playing out in your life, in work, home, family, you know where the areas are that need to change. So it's, you feel energetically restricted, and you know with Uranus going direct, this is going to make, it's a make or break time. The subject matters that are directly playing out in each individual life and collectively are coming to a head, and you'll find you'll intuitively know these things. Now, opposition, you've got the nodes opposition to Mercury, the nodes opposition to Jupiter. So what's it saying there? You look at the nodes being in Cancer and Capricorn again, you know, our structures, our society, banking, government. It's also just at a very personal level, the way you're dealing with your day-to-day life, your finances, the way you invest in things, your accountable energy. Now, with Jupiter coming into the show in Capricorn, what you're finding is we were used to it being in Sagittarius. It feels very comfortable there, but when it's moved into Capricorn, it's a different way of being. It's very strict. So it's, if you want to grow, you need to change. But you're wanting to go back to a nicer way of being, but all the conversational pieces that are playing out in the charts are very much saying, but that's not working, and you know that. Now, the nodes are squaring Chiron as well. Again, the moon is in Aries. Chiron is in Aries. Again, our wounds. We need to look at our wounds and look at where we are standing in our way. Now, Lilith is conjunct Chiron. Okay? This is huge growth. Now, let's move through to the 4th. And I just want to give you guys a hint as to how these things play out. Okay, so the sun's in Capricorn on the 4th. Right? And you can see that here. And I hope you can see my little mouse. We've also got the moon in Aries still. So again, Chiron and Aries, our wounds. Mercury in Capricorn, the way we communicate, the way we move, our day-to-day life. You know, the caution when it comes to our work, caution when it comes to the way in which we communicate, take accountable action. But people that aren't doing the work are going to find, and look, all of us that are doing the work are still going to feel this, okay? So what you're going to find is you just need to be extremely mindful that this is a very intense month. Now, Venus is in Aquarius, and this energy I started noticing. And again, you've got to look at the traits of an Aquarian, okay? Sometimes it can be quite Virgo-like. It is emotional, but at the same time, you can put your own spin on it. With Mars in Sagittarius, it's almost the reflective stage of past tense energies of what you were fighting for, right? Because Sagittarius is connected to Jupiter, and that's where it was before. So what we're looking at here is at 0 degrees, there's no turning back, okay? You once were fighting for something, you've come this far, but the way in which you're going to have to deal with it, if you're wanting it, is really going to have to be to the point where you have to put your back into it. And it's really giving us some foresight into, is this really worth fighting for? Now, with Jupiter, when it had been in Sagittarius, the things that you were working on, it felt normal that you were working on them. It was flowing, okay? And you can literally look at it from a point of view of a retrograde, because we are really looking at the Jupiter energy. It's transferred over to Capricorn. So with the other pieces coming through with Mars in Sagittarius, it's the reflection of the past as to how we were going versus now what we need to do in order to actually maintain that. Now we're going to come further down. Again, we have the Sun squaring the Moon on the 4th. The same energy. There's restrictions. There's an imbalance between work and family. There's an imbalance between the energies of what's going in life, as well as knowing that inside the masculine and feminine inside ourselves is at 9 degrees, that we need to balance those energies out. Now, the Sun conjunct Mercury. Again, you know, we know what needs to be done in order to move forward, in order to communicate. So, and there is a lot changing with masculine energies collectively. And this is our masculine side as well. So the way in which we fight things, the way we see things. And again, we'll look where the Sun is. So the Sun at the moment, again, still Capricorn. So again, very much linking in with our employment, our work, the hunter-gatherer mode, the energy of, you know, accountability and what we need to do to be that energy. And that's within feminines and masculines. So all of us are doing the same thing energetically. Now, the Sun is sextiling Neptune. So it's almost saying, you know, these delusions and illusions that you're reflected on, ingenuity can also be governed by, you know, a very magic mind, so to speak, of what you want to create. It's aspecting well, okay? Now, let's have a look further down. We do have the Moon squaring Pluto. So, the Moon squaring Pluto at 0 degrees. Again, the Moon at the moment, let's double check. And I'm sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy. Again, Capricorn. No, that's... okay, so still Aries. So, with it being an Aries, let's have a look. Pluto. Okay, so we have, again, we've got the Capricorn energy playing out with the Moon, Saturn, Pluto, the Moon, at 0 degrees in Aries. Our wounds are stopping us by moving forward of what we know we need to deal with. I.e., it's a matter of time. So you legitimately would need to actually make some very important decisions. So are we still on the feed? Because I can't see you guys. I'm waiting. Mark was the last one that actually made a comment. So I'll need to be guided by the next comment that comes up to know that we're still flowing. Okay. Now, when we do look at Mars, again, it's doing the same thing. With the Mars energy, it's conjuncting Uranus. Again, it's in Aries, right? Let me double check. Mars, oh no. Okay, so Mars is in Sagittarius. So again, about our expansion. Mars is saying, you know, in order to expand, there's going to be some pretty rude surprises coming. You intuitively feel it. Because if you're not wanting to grow and you're not willing to fight for it, what the devil are you doing? Right? And as I said, Uranus is making huge conversations. What it's really doing is bouncing through the energies and making aspects to them to give you, how do I put it? It's giving you hints. It's giving you hints to actually see where things aren't flowing, okay? Oh, so you can see better. I'll try and increase it a bit. Is that a bit better? I'm probably blowing your TV up now. Okay, so I'm hoping you're following. I'm just giving you, okay, so Mars, again, conjuncting Uranus at 2 degrees. So what it's doing is as it's flowing towards the eclipse, it's actually preparing you for what you know is coming. Now, Jupiter's trining Uranus at 4 degrees, right? Bear with me. I'm seeing, especially with the nodes, you got Saturn conjunct Pluto still at 0 degrees, so it's there already. But what it's doing, and I feel almost Uranus is really playing into this situation very heavily, because technically it's already at 0 degrees. So the subject matters, you know, we're looking at the eclipse like it's the only energy coming through, but it's really not. There is a massive conversational piece happening in January. And it's with the nodes, it's with the eclipse, it's with the Capricorn dominant energy, it's with Uranus going direct. And Uranus really making conversational pieces about these surprises. Now, when we look at Uranus, what you've got to understand, where are my notes? Okay, they bring about sudden change, and they're going to be shocks. But they're almost very, they're working with Pluto. They're almost very similar to Pluto. They're to the point where it's going to be something that is going to be a tower moment. It's going to come as a sudden surprise. And it is a bit, you know, with Pluto energy, if you guys had been having those hunches in 2019, and we've had the trainer wheels on from 2019, and we've moved into 2020, and I did say we were going to be hitting the ground running. Now, some of you might be saying, hey, life's quite slow. I'm getting downloads. I feel quite blocked. If you had been doing the work in 2019 and you've done all you physically can, and they feel like there are blocks in the road, it could be very external to you, yes, because this is collective energy, but it's also very much inside your own lives of what you can directly change. So you've got North Node opposition to the Sun at 5 degrees. Now, this is where tension is, okay? It's not super great, so the nodes in general are in opposition to the Sun. So again, let's have a look. Stream back up. And I'll have to go across. So the Sun is in Capricorn, the Moon is in Aries. So it's playing out two things. It's our wounds and our intuition, right? So the Sun energy, it's not working. You know something's not working. In work, at home, with family, with balance, with the people you're connecting in with. You've also got the nodes in opposition to Mercury. Again, we're not letting you move forward. Something in your day-to-day routine isn't flowing. You know, even your plan as per se. And it's in opposition to Jupiter. Again, in Capricorn. Something isn't working. You know it's coming. Now, the nodes are squaring Chiron on the 4th. Again, Aries energy. We're going to bounce back up. And I'm going to have to stream across because I made the screen so large. And I hope I'm not making you dizzy. So this is the 4th only. And I'm at the 4th now. And I'm sure my partner's thinking the same thing energetically. Something's not working. You're always working. Yeah, I know. Okay, so we have this website, cookies delivers, blah, blah, whatever. Okay, let's just ignore that. Now, we have the Sun in Capricorn. It's moving through. It's getting high. It's moving quite quickly. Sun in Capricorn, Moon in Taurus. Now, what energy is that? That's Uranus going direct, okay? Now, it is on the 5th, so you can't make this up. The Moon is in Taurus. Where is Uranus? Let's see. It's still retrograde, right? But it's now amping up to that point where it's making a conversation. So we now have the energy of, you know, the surprise is coming, you know, the growth is coming, change, etc., evolution. Mercury, again, in Capricorn, Venus in Aquarius. We'll go into that at a later stage. But this is, you know, these emotions simmering to the surface, really, okay? These emotional waters coming to the surface. Now, and potentially feminine energies and romantically speaking, the way you're seeing things is very, again, I would say, coming from an emotional place, but at the same time wanting that balance and that emotional fulfillment. You know, Aquarians are very selective about who they court, who they entertain when you look at it. And they do tend to, there has to be a friendship within connections, okay? So the connection has to be there. They'll fight to the battle, but you in order to actually gain their love, you'd need to be a friend also. So this is really the subject that's coming up in this area. So Mercury, got a lot of throat chakra going on. Now, we've got Jupiter in Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, Uranus in Taurus, we know this, at 2 degrees, Neptune, Pisces, Pluto, Capricorn, let's see. Now, let's go down, and we'll have to shove the screen across again. I'm multitasking here, guys, so sorry. Sun conjunct Mercury. Now, this is good, right? So, you might be seeing with the Sun what's going to be working right for you, okay? Having some clarity. With the Sun, again, conjuncting Jupiter, same situation. Again, same situation. The things we need to be mindful of is Mars, again, quincunxing Uranus, 1 degree, right? This is getting agitated now. Now, it's moved past the 0 degree point, right? And now it's at 1. This, again, where is Mars? And it'll probably make it easier if I did reduce the screen. So I'm going to, because this does make it hard for me to reference, right? Just for a moment. Okay, so we have Mars in Sagittarius. Again, our growth from the past of where we want to go is becoming problematic. So we know what we need to do. We've had that reflection with the Sun conjunct Jupiter. Again, past versus present, 6 degrees. We know what we need to do in order to move this ship forward. The Sun conjunct Saturn, the same energy. Okay, Sun is in Capricorn. With work, what's working, what's not? How do we move this situation forward? Now, Mars again in Uranus is in Sagittarius, as we said. So Mars here again is saying the same situation. Your previous growth and your wounds, because Mars is Aries energy, so it's also Chiron and Aries energy playing out. You've also got the energy of, you know, in order to grow, it's really now a crucial point that you're physically seeing. In order to grow, you know, in a Jupiter experience, you can't deal with things the same way. This has to change. It won't pass. It's like no return. There's no return. Okay, and again, we'll look at the nodes. Let's see the aspects that are coming up. We have Saturn conjunct Pluto at 0 degrees still. Okay, so we haven't even met that major point, the eclipse as well. You've got it sextiling the moon, so we know what we need to do. Okay, this is a perfect opportunity to gain the clarity, and I'd say it's on the 5th. Now, the nodes opposition Mercury. Again, there's tension here. You're seeing the tension, right? The nodes with the moon energy, you know what you need to do, you know what isn't working, okay? Now, again, Jupiter energy, nodes opposition to Jupiter. You know what's not working. To grow, to move. Nodes squaring Chiron. Why are you standing in your way? What is the obstacle? Is it internal to you? Is it external to you? Chiron trining Mars. Again, same situation. You can have the best of both worlds, but something is going to need to change in order for that to happen. Now, 6th let's see. So we've still got the moon in Taurus. We still have Uranus at 2 degrees. We have Mars at 1 degree in Sagittarius, still making conversational pieces from the past as to our growth and how we were doing things. And you can almost look at the Mars Sagittarius energy very much reflecting back on our wounds and our ego, connected to how we grow, how we were growing, how we were creating financial abundance, and almost purging that. It's like, okay, you're battling with yourself. I know you're really struggling with this, but you do need to look at this from a different paradigm. And it's giving us a perfect opportunity to look at things and say, okay, if this is what we're wanting, and I wonder if this will close it all together. Good, it won't. Okay, if this is what we're wanting, what are we willing to do what we know we need to do? Crucial question, okay? Yeah, let's have a look. Again, Mars is still conjuncting Uranus, 0 degrees, right? Nodes still making a similar conversation. To grow, change has to happen. Same conversational piece, right? Let's go to the next chart. And I'll try and not drop my computer. Okay, now we're at a critical point. Now, Mark may be able to help me with this. There's a lot, when you're looking at astrology and you're growing into doing the astrology, you learn so many different aspects. Now, there are critical degrees, but it does go per element, okay? It also does happen, 29 degrees is almost, there's no turning back, okay? The moon in Taurus with Uranus, okay? And I need to remember the date that Uranus was going direct. I'm sure I'll be seeing it on the chart shortly. It's still got R there for retrograde. This is at 2 degrees, okay? We have 29 degrees. It's like there's no turning back, okay? When it does come to these changes, if you hadn't made any changes and you intuitively knew it and you were getting the hunches and you were following intuition, we've got the Sun in Capricorn, masculine, feminine in Taurus. So feminine energies are looking at their family, knowing that there's a critical point coming, because obviously the moon energy is going to connect in with the nodal energy as well. But again, it's very much governed by the zodiac sign of Cancer. So potentially there can be huge subject matters playing out that in order to have these things in family, something could be reaching its peak. Thanks. Something could be reaching its peak. So I would say really on the 7th, you're going to have some huge hunches and there could be some tower moments happening. I can't do anything about it yet, Chris. I need to buy another microphone, Dale. I'm doing the best I can. I've had to upgrade a lot of technology, and at the same time, yeah, it's taken me 2 days to get this app working. So I shall invest in one really soon. So we do have the Sun in Capricorn at 16 degrees. Look at the moon in Taurus at 29 degrees, a critical point happening between work and home. And again, depending on what is going on in your chart. So the previous videos I did for your astrology, where I named what house they fall in, go and refer to that. And it's going to give you some key points for ongoingly what house is going to be activated for you, okay? So with this energy, it's knowing that work and home, there's some things changing. Mercury again in Capricorn, Venus in Aquarius, you know what needs to happen, be your own best friend. Mars and Sagittarius, again, what are you fighting for? The past. And I do think it's a lot of past tense themes coming up, especially with your wounds in Mars, with the Aries energy coming through of Mars, and also with the Sagittarius energy really linking back to growth with Jupiter, past tense energy, and then Jupiter and Capricorn, what you're going to need to do. Now, let's look further down. Again, Mars conjuncting Uranus, 0 degrees. Same energy. It's really screaming at us. Now, let's have a look at the nodes. Nodes opposition the Sun. Not so great. So again, when it does come to masculine frequencies, they can be really struggling. And again, we have masculine and feminine side us. So the hunter-gatherer mode, the day-to-day work, the things we're doing, the things we're fighting for. It's the strength card. It's Leo in the zone, in the tarot. You've also got the nodes opposition to Mercury again in order to communicate how we do that. The nodes both at work and home. And I feel this is a great time where, well, I don't think it's a great time. It is, but it isn't. It's we're really tuning into things of, okay, we know, we're seeing, we're feeling. We might not be speaking or moving. And there could be direct reasons why, because there's two energies playing out that simply aren't balanced, okay? There's something's got to give. The node opposition Jupiter, same energy coming on. Node squaring Chiron. Because of the past and healing going on collectively, and because of the way we were operating before, we potentially may not want these changes. And you'll notice, the collective consciousness energy, you find if a lot of people, especially if you're looking on YouTube and everyone's really triggered, what you'll find is everyone will be feeling really triggered. The Schumann resonance will increase. Okay, so just pay attention to that. If you're feeling really, really triggered, what you'll find is go and look at the Schumann resonance. You'll start having ascension symptoms. It'll be navigating connected to the astrology because vibration is energy, as we said. So you will know when this is coming. It'll be as we're moving towards the eclipse. You'll be starting to have very, very strong frequency playing out. Okay, let's go through to the 8th. Come on. Sun in Capricorn, Moon in Gemini. The good old twins. Now, interesting that the nodes in March, this is going to be giving us a hunch around this time with everything we need to change and the nodal energy, okay? Because the Gemini energy is going to be playing out with the nodes, so it's going to be Gemini and Sagittarius, and Saturn is going into Aquarius, so it's sort of giving us different ways to look at things. Now, with the Moon in Gemini, Gemini is almost like the jack of all trades, multitasking, knows a lot, knowledge everywhere, jack of all trades. But it's also seeking knowledge, deep knowledge seeking. Now, it's in Gemini. Let's see what's playing out here. We've still got the conjunctions happening when it does come to Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn. The Sun conjunct Saturn. Masculine energies, plus inside, energy of what we're fighting for, the way we're looking at things. Again, we do know something's changing. Now, the Moon opposition Mars. Look at that. The Moon is in Gemini. What we're going to need to know, what we're going to need to do, that potentially, and again, just be really careful with ego at the moment, because with all of this pushing with the Mars conjuncting Uranus at 0 degrees, it's not a comfortable energy because these wounds are coming up, right? Where else is it playing out? I can smell toast and I'm getting hungry. Let's go to the next chart. Let me check. Is Uranus doing it? Not yet. 8, 9. This is where it's really going to amp up. But I'd say the 7th, be mindful of the 7th. Still in Gemini, 25 degrees. Venus in Aquarius still. It's at 24 degrees by this point. Mars is still with Sagittarius, still making conversational pieces to the past of growth. Jupiter in Capricorn, okay, what you're going to need to do, what you've been fighting for. 2 degrees, Uranus and Taurus. Let's have a look. Now, still Mars in quincunx Uranus. This is a critical point here. It's make or break all week, right? We're moving into some intuitive energy, some energy of how we're feeling about things, how we're seeing things, how things weren't built correctly. Pluto is very much, hey, where's the rot in a situation? If you go back to a way of being and doing things, it's just simply not going to work. It's a no turning back energy. Now, we've got that there. The nodes opposition Jupiter, again, in order to grow, it's not going to work. There's tension there. You're going to see where the tension is. You're going to see where the issues are. And the nodes squaring Chiron, same subject piece. It's like creative restrictions. You're unable to do certain things due to the fact that some of these wounds have not been dealt with. Okay? And now my twin's sneezing. I'm telling you, he's having ascension symptoms. And there has been a lot of ascension symptoms and flu-like energies coming through, like 24-hour bugs. So just be mindful of that and keep your fluids up. Now we have the moon in Cancer. This is where it's really amping up, right? This is the 10th. So we officially have all these aspects happening. Sun conjunct Mercury. Yeah, a lot. Now, to my belief, let me jog my memory. This is the eclipse state. So let's have a look. So we've got the eclipse, right? Again, Mars, quincunx Uranus at 1 degree. We have Saturn conjunct Pluto still at 0 degrees. So the nodes are conjunct the moon. Knowing what you need to do. And this is, this moon energy, I'm really feeling as though this situation with the Capricorn, in the dominant Capricorn energy, Uranus playing out in this situation. Look, Jupiter trining Uranus, Mars quincunxing Uranus. You want these surprises. You may not see these coming. There are some things that you can't prepare for. There are some things that, if you had shifted course and you had been guided to, and you're on that correct path, and you're moving away from maybe just the 3D of things, right? Because sometimes we can look at growth. There's many aspects of growth. There's external growth at a financial level, and there's internal spiritual growth, like selling your soul to the devil, right? Capricorn energy is almost the devil card in tarot. All these decisions we're making, we need to be basing them on a reality of accountable energy of where we're going. Accountable energy. Chiron squaring the moon. Now, our wounds, home life, things not working, nodes squaring Chiron, moon squaring Chiron. Some painful situations from the past are going to play out. Now we've got Chiron trining Mars. Now, this is where the hint is, okay? You deal with your wounds, you're going to know what you can achieve inside yourself and with the things you're fighting for, right? Now, feminine energies will be picking up on this big time. We're at 25 degrees in Aquarius, okay? Are you being your own best friend? When it comes to romances, no rose-colored glasses, looking at things, do you be your own best friend? Know what you like. There's no turning back. Moving forward, moving into this Capricorn energy in an accountable sense, looking at family-related dynamics, emotions, pain, body experiences from childhood, because Uranus is going direct and there's going to be no turning back. Let's go to the next day. And this is pretty much, and then I might go one more, and that's about it. Okay, Sun 20 degrees Capricorn. Again, we have look at this. Sun in Capricorn. Moon in Cancer. The two nodal energies playing out in masculine and feminine. 20 degrees, 23 degrees. Mercury in Capricorn. Again, being your own best friend. Mars in Sagittarius, the growth, past tense. 5 degrees. Jupiter in Capricorn. Let's go further down. Lilith is in Pisces, which again is very Neptunian, the dreams and really digging into it. But just be very mindful. Now we still have Mars conjuncting Uranus. Now let me go back up and check. It's stationary. Okay, this is when it gets real. Uranus is stationary on the 11th, right? So we're going to be having masculine and feminine energies playing out to do with work and career. Now, masculine oppositions, it's not so great. So let's have a look at the stories. The 3 degrees. So masculine frequencies are in Capricorn. So looking at the accountable energy, knowing where the restrictions are to prevent them from doing things, being things, moving into their own energy, the intuition side of things. So it's our solar plexus versus our crown and third eye, right? In Cancer, family and work. The nurturer versus the worker. And this is a healing experience collectively because we're looking at it. We were very 3D when it came to the way we had relationships, dealt with financial abundance, understood the energy of commitment. Sun conjunct Saturn. Now, we know what we'd need to do to be, that adult figure. This could be father energies coming up as well. Mercury conjunct Saturn, Mercury conjunct Pluto. Again, they're working well together, knowing what you need to do in this movement sense with communication. This is like clarity. But again, be really cautious with stationary energy, okay? Because Mars is still from that past tense energy of the way we were operating. It's not a comfortable energy. It's stationary. Better to do reflection during this time, but there can be things coming at left field. We also have the nodes conjuncting Mars. So now we have both energies playing out and a pain body experience from the past. Go look at the house that's activated for you guys for Mars, but at a collective level, it's like, ooh, okay, what do we need to do to change in work and life and finances and home? It's quincunxing, okay? This is not a comfort, and it's 2 degrees. And we've got the nodes in opposition to Jupiter. Again, to grow, this isn't going to be comfortable. You need to look at your shadow side. Can you take these energies with you? Can you take these positions and things moving forward? Like, could you take these people, places, things? Can you take this job with you? Is it in balance? The way you're dealing with your finances. Again, go and look at your zodiac signs I did, and you can have a look at what's coming up for you. We'll look one more day, and then I'll chuck my head back on camera. We're at the 12th. And for those of you that don't know, yes, this is AstroSeek I'm using. I do use different kind of platforms, obviously, but today I'm using this for the demo. Okay, so we have the Sun at 21 degrees Capricorn and the Moon in Leo at 7 degrees. And this is interesting because, the Strength card is Leo, right? And we have Uranus direct. So we have the Sun conjunct Mercury Bit of movement happening there. Again, the sun is in Capricorn. Sorry if I'm bouncing and making you dizzy. Sun conjunct Saturn. We know what we need to do to step up. Sun sextiling Neptune with these dreams, with this movement, with this creative ideas we need to have moving forward. The Sun conjunct Pluto. Yeah, again, our work-related dynamics. You're going to know what you need to do in those and what's rot and what's not. What's hot, what's not. This energy is where we are going to find where the dead wood is, and we're going to have to drop the dead weight. Okay, you know what you need to do to get this done. 1 degree, it's a starting point, right? 0 degree technically, but hey, we're moving forward. Moon trining Mars. You can have the best of both worlds. Dealing with your wounds, knowing where these core energies are, what you're fighting for. You know what you need to do, and you're going to pick your tribe, right? Pick your tribe, pick the areas you're working in with. The moon is quincunxing Jupiter, okay? This is where, in order to grow, you're going to see the flaw in the system. It's make or break, okay? This growth here, it's just with the Leo energy, and Leo energy can be cautious of vanity, be cautious of the ego, again, depending on the wounds, but in a growth sense, there could be very negative energies. But again, it's something's coming up to show us that we can't do things the way we've been doing it before. Now, again, the moon is squaring Uranus. Yeah, that's Mark. Intuitive Perceptions. Sorry. Big shout out, Intuitive Perceptions. Love ya. Okay, so this is extreme. This is where it's getting really extreme. It's going to muck your growth up, right? If there are people around you that are operating from a place of external validation, right? Because look, every zodiac sign has good and bad. You got the yin and yang. That the energy of Leo can be very strong, but at the same time, it's really testing the factor of whether you want to put your strength into those situations. Okay. The moon squaring Uranus. Creative restrictions. Okay. So again, creatively, are you able to move forward? This situation, moving direct, can bring about a shift and a change. It's affecting, again, creatively speaking, this can be an employment and a home. Now, Mercury conjunct Saturn, again, working well with the movement forward. You know where these areas are by this stage. It's going to be shown to you. Now, the nodes are quincunxing Mars. The moon, where is it? The moon is quincunxing Jupiter. So we've got Jupiter. We've got what we're fighting for, what we're trying to grow. It's all, there is something that is, there's no turning back. You're going to have to make a decision. So if you were stuck and you were thinking, oh, but you know, maybe I can delay this. No, this position here is going to be to the, look at it. Mark calls it a picnic table. I look at it like that burden card in the tarot where they're carrying some sticks on their back and it's breaking point. This is breaking point, right? In order to move, in order to grow. The nodes are in opposition to Jupiter. You will know where these situations are, right? Nodes opposition to Jupiter. This is Cancer Capricorn in opposition to your growth, the accountable energy. There also could be a lot of energies around you that are saying, look, we don't want you to grow. We don't want you to change. And again, external sources linking in with work, family, government bodies, things to that degree. What you'll have is, yeah, it's a picnic table. You know, when you're looking at these things, it's you know what they are. You know what you have to change, but it could be the ego connected to or other people external to you at 1 degree really saying, but we don't want you to change. We want you to stay back here. So, you know, sometimes in a karmic sense, and this is a very karmic time at the moment, it's where you might have upgraded, you might have done a lot of work on yourselves, but the other people, places and things around you have not evolved. And And so energetically, you're really connected in, okay? $13.1. Yes, this is my point, okay? So this is my interpretation of it. I'm not saying I'm correct, but we will bounce one more day and then I'll jump back on the screen. How to make sense of it, I'll get back on screen in a minute and explain it. Okay, Sun in Capricorn, Moon in Leo, Mercury in Capricorn, again, our work-related domains, finances, Mars in Sagittarius, which is about our wounds and our growth. And what we're fighting for, because Sagittarius is very Jupiter energy, okay? So it's about growth, but Jupiter is now in Capricorn. So we're the way we are dealing with our finances, how we build our businesses, how we connect in with relationships, how we emotionally, physically, spiritually, internally, and externally grow. It's all coming to a very accountable head, right? And Uranus is in Taurus at 2 degrees here. We got Pluto in the sky, baby. Pluto and Uranus and Chiron are really making major conversational pieces. Now, the nodes, again, are conjuncting Mars at 1 degree. Critical points in family and home. Now, Saturn and Pluto are conjunct again. 0 degrees, so they're still there. Still this energy playing out. We have the node squaring Chiron, again our wounds, okay? Look at your wounds, guys. Now, it could very much be you've dealt with them, but crap from the past can come back in your work and your home. I'm just saying it all. Now, let me bounce back to here, and we will try and not blind you, and we will come back to the screen, okay? So, I'm going to put this here because I can't see any of your chats because for some blooming reason it's not working. But I've connected you in. So it's lagging a little bit. Now, so basically what I've noticed is with Uranus moving, like we're like, oh yeah, Uranus is retrograde, it's going direct. Okay, look at the aspects it's making. It's preparing you. Now, Uranus is about surprises, and it's about really showing you what's not working. It's going to create change. Saturn and Pluto have been working together in 2020 and all of 2020, okay? So they're going to be moving with you. 2019, we had the trainer wheels. Now we're moving into January. The eclipse energy is, yes, connected to the past, but it's in order to move forward. What is make and break? What's not going to work? So what you're going to find is, go and look at your charts that I did for you with the zodiac signs, okay? With those aspects, it's going to become more intense as it moves forward. Now, definitely solar plexus are linking in with, our core wounds, our inner child. So keep your solar plexus balanced. You can eat yellow food groups. It's connecting with inner child wounds, ambition, empowerment, ego, self-belief, joy, and anger. There is a lot of energy coming through as well of sacral chakra. And I'd say that's why I've suggested getting your chakras balanced, right? Sea biscuits. Oh, you make me laugh. Saturn is the first house. Yes. So are you seeing? Yeah, look, there is a lot of Capricorn energy. Look, Saturn wants you to have a good life, right? So they're like a dad figure coming to you and saying, look, you need to do this. But Pluto's like, let's be real. Yes, that's safe, but it's not growth. Jupiter's making the conversational piece of growth as well. That in order to grow, what's going to need to change. Now, these could be environmental situations. They could be belief situations. Your mindset, and definitely with the Aries placement coming through, in Mars all the way through, it's really making a sentence of how are you standing in your way. So we do need to be looking at that. Is it a physical situation? Is it an environmental situation? Is it a family or a financial situation? Each zodiac sign and your energy, plus us collectively, it's going to make a conversational piece. But Uranus going direct is going to make the Tower card come, okay? So if you're not already intuitively picking it up, yes, it will be bringing it. Now, with quincunx, that's 100% tension. That's not a comfortable place to be. It's make or break. It's no turning back. It's like deciding between two roads and having to physically make that road. The eclipse energy, obviously, is still making conversational pieces. It's heavy as well, and it holds the frequency of 12 months. But you've got the conjunction energy playing out already. From the 3rd, we were seeing that energy all the way through so far till I think we got to the 13th or the 14th. And then you have the dominant Capricorn energy and Uranus playing out going direct. Okay? Now, the nodes are changing in March, so we do have that energy coming through in the moon. So I will love you and leave you at this level, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Any questions while I'm here? I can't do super chat from here, okay, but I can answer questions. Yeah, I'm really not too worried about Saturn, to be quite honest. I think all of them working together. It's like, yeah, he's like the judge. He's the judge, really. I'm looking at it like that, and he's trying to be fair to us if we're listening. I'm looking at the whole tribe as a team, going, hey, we've been speaking to you, but you're just not listening. What do you mean, Steph? Everyone is going to be super hyped, super agitated. Really, and so, look, some people aren't. Some people are just going to be really internally reflective. Yeah, it's just, and I haven't even had brekkie yet, so I will have to go shortly. Well, it is lunchtime now. Yeah, but the Jupiter energy moving into Capricorn, you do have growth, right? So yes, they suggested with the Jupiter energy when it was in Sagittarius to really wear like large clothing, and to then look at the growth in other areas versus your hips, right? Being in Capricorn, if you were wanting to get weight, and things to that degree in control, it's okay. Do you want it? You're going to have to work hard. You can't do things the old way. It needs to shift up, okay? That's okay, Sally. I got your email, lady. And look, my intent was to come to you guys yesterday and then last night, and then my partner's like, you need to go to bed. And I was like, okay, then I just will. And I can't see Facebook comments, okay, because I've only got one phone device. So Facebook, I know I'm streaming live to you, and I'm really sorry. I wanted to share this energy with you, but I can't for the life of me see the comments. So I might have to go back later and jump on live to Facebook and answer some questions. But feel free, if I don't get to, just chuck a comment on there. On the actual Facebook page, because Facebook is actually watching too, and I'll flick through and read some of the comments after. I don't know why it's not working, but it's not. Yes, I have tried to actually change the thing and connect it, but it's just not working. I don't know, man. It's just not working. So maybe it will now. Knowing my luck, it'll work now. Refresh. Uranus going direct will affect everyone though. Try and keep in the moment, Steph, okay? That's the most important thing. What we can't control, we can't control. And it's the acceptance that things do change. You know, Uranus and Taurus, it doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't like that, okay? And, you know, look at the Taurian energy. It likes the finer things in life. It likes the nice things. But with Capricorn, it's like, is everything that glistens gold, right? So the way we look and the way we invest in things now is it feels uncomfortable to have that change. And does it? It's a bit like, you know, storing your cupboard with a lot of food. I don't know why it's doing that now. Yeah, storing the cupboard with a lot of food. And then by the time you need it, the food's back. You know what I mean? Just, Chris, really just be in the moment, okay? Yeah, joy of Centrelink. Big shout out, Centrelink. I love waiting for 3 months for that. Yes. But look, we are very lucky here in Australia. I know that those of you in America, you know, you've got your medical system and things to that degree, and all of us collectively, you know, with countries, etc. It's changing, and we're having to look at those things and those foundations and having to change those things. So, you know, not one of us is really living a perfect dream, so to speak, but we're trying to create it. We're trying to live the best version of life we can. I had a time where I was living at with my mum, and there were easy 12 of us living in the home, and it was a mindset change. It had to be that mindset change to look at the benefits in it, not the downfall in it. So I would look at a very simple way of being and simple way of finding pleasure in life. So it was walking, and it was socialising and stating to myself the comment I always use, this too shall pass, because nothing ever stays the same forever. Yeah, just getting in nature. Just be in the moment. Center link. Yeah. Anyway, if you are needing a booking, I will come back to you guys later. I just wanted to really connect in with Facebook, and apologies to Facebook for those of you watching that can't actually see. I can't see your feed. I mean, I've got one phone here. I've got streaming too. I've had this for a while. I just haven't actually utilised it in a while. But I will be back later, and just take really good care of yourselves, okay? If you do get triggered, feel free to book a reading.